Alright, so let's see. We're going to make a new page. So for the new page, we need Canva. Yeah, continue. Yeah. Come on. Alright, we need to create. And I need let's go with these right here. Where's the collage at? What the fuck? Why do they keep changing stuff? Photo collage, there we go. Let's go from blank. Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm just gonna be. I thought I'd, just go live while I was putting this together. So, let's see, just add a fucking picture. Photo library. And then we need. Where's my other folder? How the fuck is it that it shows all the other folders? Here's the One Nation. Here's the Book of Johnson. Alright, fuck it. We just gotta go through photos, I guess. Now. What I need is. What the fuck? Calendar. I don't know why they call this a calendar. It's not a fucking calendar, but whatever. Let's get this looks like a good copy of it right here. Yeah. Save the photos. I'll close that. Close that. Go to Canva. Give me that right there. Give me that. And then I need to go to anatomy. Yes. And let's see. We need, for the Mayan calendar, we need this one. We need this one. Also going to need. Oh, look at that. That's beautiful right there. Give me this one instead of this one. Wait, did that show the curve of the spine? Alright, okay, so we need that one and get rid of that. This one. Okay, so that's those two. Now we also need. Give me the heart. Also, need the circle of Willis in there. What's up, everybody? Hey, look, don't mind me. I'm just making something real quick. It's a diagram. Let's see. This guy right here. This guy right here. That one there. And last but not least, this one here. And this one here. And add the page. That should be it. I think I might have put too much, actually. There we go. Boop. Okay. So give me this one. Let's see here. Sir Dragon. Don't need two of it. Give me this one. That one over there. Get rid of this one. Get it out here. Heart of the Dragon. Delete two of them by accident. Let's put this one down here. And this one. We need. Shrink this down like this. Now this one can get deleted. This one can get deleted. This one right here. Move over. Trash. Okay, now we're down to the final stuff. So, let's see this. It's over here for a second. Get rid of this one. Now, how can we make it so that you can see everything? I think I should have did this in Procreate. That's what I should have did. Alright, so we're going to move this around. Take this one here, shrink this down like this. Take this one here, and get rid of it, because this one's here. Now, this dragon needs to be so you got the heart stuff towards the base. So this should also be towards the base, like this. Spinal column stuff. Okay. This can come over here. Shrink this one down. Technically, it should be above this because that's your vertebrae. So put this guy here. And now we can move this over here. That's what it connects to. Now these are your vertebrae. So just make that smaller like this. And then this one here needs to come up here. This one here needs to shrink down like this. Take this one here. Now this one, we're gonna move it. Oh shit, this is made like 10 copies of it. Fucking delete. There we go, there's that one. Now we need to move this one. Layer. Bring forward. It kind of puts it behind everything. I want it like right here. It's a little too big. Let's bring this guy over here. Take this guy and put him here. And this can come down here. That gives the description. And this guy here needs to come here like this. Is there a way? Oh wait, I know what to do with this. Hold on. Bing! There it is. That's what I was looking for right there. So now, you know what? Let's flip that. Can we flip it? Copy, paste, duplicate. Can't we just fucking edit it? Alright, so let's do this. Let's bring this up here like this. Bring this over here like this. Bring this over here like this. Because if it's on this side, you can see it easier, right? So just do that. Oh, let's see. You got the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh no, here's the 8 right here. Okay, so we got that covered. I guess we'll shrink it down just a little bit. And then take this image here and bring it over here. Like this. I think that, have I spoke to them? Yeah, they both love me. So does Harry, and so does motherfucking Julio. All 4 of them fuck with me. Wanna see? Look, check it out. Check this out. Because Harry was just sending me some videos the other day because he went and visited a museum. crazy. We just... See? Bloop, bloop, bloop. A little bit. They learned a little bit. He's learning a lot more symbolism from me. He's a little more excited about it, so he sends me videos like this when he comes across stuff. Oh, I guess you can only see it the first time. But see, look. See? Thought you would like this. You get me? Then... Where's my fucking... Fuck them. Whatever. This thing's fucking up right now, so don't even worry about it. Okay, so... The secrets of... Ba-da-da-da. Let's see, I got a little bit more editing to go. Hold on, give me 1 second. Let me finish editing this. Okay. Like that. I mean, I got what I asked for. I didn't ask for a whole lot, but I got what I asked for. He honored the fact that he used my works. That's all I could ask for, Alright, so it looks like I'm trying to see if there's anything else that I need to show in here. I think this should be enough to cover it, though. Oh, of course. Alright, so let me save this. This is Canva. And let's open it here. Now let's make sure that saved my photos like it was supposed to. Okay, there it is right there. Give me this. Now put this in to where are my folders at? Add to album. This goes into this album here. Bink. Oh, wait a minute. I think I got 2 of them folders now. Let's add to album. Yep, this one right here. Boop. I like Photoshop too. Photoshop Express works pretty good. So we can close that, and then open this. Whew. Bink, there it goes. All right, so check it out. Now we can teach from it. Hey, you see how that works? Pretty dope, right? Because now, open up a new layer, get my pen. All right, so we can see some things. Little shit that's changed on here because, they did an outline of it, right? But, all right, you see how you got these 3 ventricles down here? Let me make this a little bit smaller. All right, I want you to notice something, right? So, see how this pours out? Beep. Why do you think it pours out like this? It's the 1 that comes from the 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so it's coming out of the mouth, right? So we already know that that's a frequency. Okay? But it's attached to the 4. It's because you have a frontal, occipital, lombatic, perennial. Those are your lobes. And then, of course, you have your cerebellum. Now, the cerebellum, because it's on you're looking at this from the inside view, right? This is the base right here, okay? That is this here, okay? This is what connects to your spinal column. Okay, this is your dragon. Okay, that's the head of the dragon right there. All right, get this cord off of here. Okay, now this guy that sits right here, that's this guy right here. Okay, you see how he's got these arms that come off right here? Those are these guys right here. Okay, these are what. All right, now we're gonna break these down for you real quick. Oh, you know what image I'm missing? Shit. I should have had the picture of the brain sideways as well. Fuck. All right, here, let me do this real quick. Add a layer. Insert a photo. Go down to anatomy. Not this one, that's not descriptive enough. We need could use this one. I think I'll take this one. Maybe this one. Yeah, we'll use this one. All right, just give me that. Now, clear that real quick. Give me the eraser, and we're going to reduce this like that. Make this a little smaller. Just gonna reduce it just to the skull itself. Go like this. Cut off this shit down here. Bam! Alright, now give me that. Oh, I see there's still some extra shit out here. Now give me that. Actually, since it's facing to the left, we'll drop it over here. Like that. Alright, there we go. Oh, too much. Shrink this down a little bit. Okay, go like that. All right, there we go. Matter of fact, let's flip that. Bloop. Like that. Put this guy here like that. Okay. Now we can get back to this layer. Boop. All right, so if you notice, right, see this part right here? All right, see these little guys right here, right? Check out the shapes. Oh yeah, you're right, Mel, you're right. I'll have to fucking swap that one out. But all right, so check this out, right? So the reason that it's 2 on the bottom, whereas it's 4 on the top, is because the 2 on the bottom are the cerebellum. These are the two, because there's two sides to it, right? And then the four that are on the top, I think it goes, let's see, like this. All right, this is one part of the brain here. I believe that's the perineal. I might have them out of order. Right, this one's easy because this is the frontal lobe. Okay, the frontal lobe cuts off right here. Frontal. Right, then this section right here is your occipital, I believe. So you have your frontal, your occipital, perineal. I believe this one's the lombatic. I might have the lombatic and the perineal mixed up. Okay, but you know, you also have to remember that there's two sides to this, right? All right, let's do it like this. Close this. That was a little too much. Something like this. Okay, this is your cerebellum right here. Okay. So the thing is that even though there's four lobes, you know, you got the four lobes, and then this is your fifth lobe, technically. Okay. But the thing is that even though there's four, your brain is split in two. You have two hemispheres. Okay. These are your hemispheres. Okay. So you have four that split into the two. See how it all comes together and splits into the two? Now, this section right here it's the inner part. That's why it's in here. See? And it connects to the three that control the five. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Because you technically have 5 lobes, right? But it's the 4 that are affected by emotions. Okay? So you have it split on both sides, right? The 3 that connect it the 3 branches that come down. Okay, these are the 1, 2, 3 right here that go down through here. This area right here, this is your pyramid, which is why you have the pyramid here, right? It's behind it because this is the inside of it and this is the response to it, and the pyramid is what sends it. That's why you have this symbol here, because this symbol here is this one here. Okay, that's this. So you have the 4 lobes. Those are the things that control the mind. In the center of it, you have the circle of Willis, which is connected. Like this part right here is this part over here. Okay, because it's all connected in the center. That's why you have the 1, 2, 3, and the 4. And the 1, 2, the 3, and the 4 that connect to the 1, 2, 3 that come out of the cup, because the cerebellum is the cup. That's this right here. Now, this connects down to your heart, right? But it's based off of your left and your right hemisphere, okay? So what comes out of the mouth, look at the number around the mouth. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Right? The 21. Why the 21? Because how many vertebrae do you have? You have 33 vertebrae, right? Right? There's 33 total. Right? So you have the 21 that are receiving the instructions, and then you have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wait a minute. They changed it. They changed it. Hold on. Because look, if we go to the real one, let me bring this back up. I want you to see something. Because they modified it. Because it's missing vertebrae. Because look, when we look at the original, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. You get me? You see the difference? You notice how I caught that immediately? Why? Because this means something very real. They're just fucking it up. And I believe they do it on purpose. So let me go and get a frontal view of this one and swap it out with that one. I knew they were going to do some dumb shit. They always try to do some dumb shit. Let's see, does this one have the 12 on it? That sucks, man, because it looked like they really... why can't they ever just copy shit exactly the way that they see it? Like, it's such a fucking nuisance that they're always trying to change shit. That's why shit can't be figured out. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I believe this one is accurate, so we'll take this one. Save the photo. That. Go back in here, and let's go like this, add in a layer, insert a photo, give me this one, and now we're going to shrink this down to the same size like this. Alright, yeah, this is even better. Okay, bink. Alright, yeah, that's much better. Okay, so let's go back up to this layer and clear out everything in here. Listen to the guy that thinks he knows what the fuck he's talking about, that just came in here trying to, get the real one. Okay, I understand getting the real one, but it's still going to be the same results, my guy. That's why I recognized it before it even got to the... Just by counting the fucking different things, I already knew that it was off just by the counting, because... These are very specific things that are very real, that have very real effects on you, that teach you about how to regulate these things. And it's the destruction of these and the changing of these that verifies your little bullshit stories. So please miss me with your nonsense, my guy. I'm trying to teach you what these really are, not the bullshit that they gave you, where you came from, Because you're the result of the people that were given gods and goddesses in order to subdue your fucking nasty nature. Okay, that's why you were given that mythology on this instead of the application of it. Because you weren't even ready for the application. So the photo of Einstein. All right, so let's run through this all over again. Right? Now, be careful what I teach. Why? This is going to help people. The mistake was not giving them the real thing. That's the mistake, was not giving them the real thing and allowing them to be taught the fucking the mysticism instead. Okay, that was the mistake. They need the real thing. You get me? The real thing is what brings you to enlightenment. Okay? So, back to the same exact shit. Now, notice how in this one it really okay, now you can actually see it. Your lateral ventricles. Okay, this is your interventricular system. These are your lateral ventricles. This is the aqueduct, where the information is stored. Okay, so you see it here representing the 4, because it's showing you that it's traveling through the entire body. Okay, that's why there's 4 of them, because it's the 4 lobes of the brain that control the autonomy of your system. Because your lateral ventricle, or Amund's horn, is the thing that controls the cognition in your body, which gives you the ability to think and move. Okay, so these are the things that the brain controls. Okay, the mouth, if you notice, the mouth has the 3 fingers on it. 1, 2, the 3, right? Those same 3 that I was telling you about that are represented here, because it's the energy that's being given to the dragon, right? The dragon is your spinal column. This is your hips. All right, this is the hips being opened up. That's why it goes down like this and like this. Okay. This is each side of the hips. That's this curve that you see here is this right here. That's why that's the mouth of the dragon. So the part in the reason that you see the face inside of it with the 3 fucking teeth on the mouth that splits into the 2, because it still happens here, right, is because that's the passing of this guy. You get me? That's the passing of the information. The face is this man that sits right here on your throne. Okay? Right above the throne, right, is what is your circle of Willis. What you talking about, Willis? Okay? Willis is the ventricles that send the information through the body. Now, those ventricles are controlled by your lateral ventricles. Now, the lateral ventricles are the things that respond to the 4 lobes of the brain. Okay, so you have the 4 lateral ventricles pointing out here, right? But notice how these are directly connected to the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay? But that's connected through this part, which these weird motherfuckers want to tell you, oh, that's a fucking eagle, and those are the claws of the eagle, and these are the eagle's wings, and this is the sacred eagle. Shut the fuck up. You don't even know what you're talking about. Okay? You have your 4 heads. 1, 2, 3, 4. Because you have a 4 head, right? And in the center of that is where your circle of Willis is. This guy right here, who's connected to these are your cerebellum. Now notice how it still has the 2 fingers, for the left and the right side, and that's still connected to the 1, 2, 3, and the 4 parts of the brain. And that's connected to the 1, the 2, and the 3 parts, right? They didn't change too much. They just, removed like parts of this out here, which breaks the cycle. Because over here, right, you have what? You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and the 12th. Because you have the part that goes around the heart, which is part of your thoracic vertebrae. Okay, that's the 12. That's why inside of that you see your nerve stems. That's the plant that's in the middle of it. Don't they tell you that you have a brain stem? Notice how it separates into the 2 pieces that come into it. All right, there's 1 with the 2. All right, and then you have this one here. Boop, boop, boop. Okay, now that goes all the way through that because this is your spinal column. Yeah, your stem cells. Yeah, exactly. You get what it. This is how they represent these things. No, we're not doing as above, so below. It's not necessarily. Well, we can do as above, so below, but only if you really recognize that it's not duality. Because people seem to correlate that with duality, but as above, so below, it's as above of below is the true translation of it. Okay, it's not as above, so below. It's not a reflection. The real way that you say that saying is as above of below. It's all one and the same. They've, just switching out that one word makes it so that you're getting it incorrect because one gives you duality, which tells you that it's a reflection, whereas the other one gives you the one and the same, like it's letting you know that it's all one and the same. That's why you have 12 cranial nerves, and the 12 cranial nerves go down to the 12 vertebrae. They control the 12 organs. It's one and the same. It's a working system, right? The big thing that everybody misses is that your fucking idea of duality is always in a circle, which means that duality is the one. Its wholeness is complete. You get what I'm saying? Okay. So, if you notice, right? If you notice, you have the 3, 1, the 2, and the 3. From the 3, which is your what? 3, 6, and your 9, because we're talking about a complete cycle, right? So from your aqueduct, you have the 3 ventricles that are this part right here that goes down to the dragon, the serpent. This is your serpent, your dragon, okay? Well, it's not necessarily reincarnation, right? It's not reincarnation. Like your frequency never dies. So you're never reincarnated. You're just passing through your cycles. Well, yeah, it's all about the human body. It's also about nature as well, right? That's why they give you these creatures to represent your body, right? So if you notice, towards the bottom of this, which is actually the top, you have the 1, 2, 3, 4 on each side, because you have what? Now notice how those 4 are connected to the 3, right? Because you have your left and your right hemisphere. The right hemisphere has the 4, the left hemisphere has the 4, right? So 2 and the same. That's why it's connected. Okay, so you notice how the Amun's horn is the beginning of it. Okay, it's showing you the flow of it. It's pouring through it. All right, so you got your 1, your 2, and your 3 that become the foundation of it. You have the arteries inside of it from the 2. All right, so it's the chamber of the mind. All right, now what's this look like to you? That's this section in here where all the instructions come from. Okay, because this is going down your spinal column. That's why each one's inside the chamber, because it's coming from the chamber of the mind. But notice how it's square. It's a what? That's a right angle. You get me? Or now knowing that these 12 have to deal with your vertebrae that's dealing with your right chest. Right? So now you understand where they get righteousness. It's right chest. Okay? So it's always going to be coming off of the 3 that come from the temple, right? Bloop. Now you notice how that's represented here over and over again, right? The 3 come from the what? The 5. Domino, bitch. Domino, motherfucker. Okay, that's why you see it represented over and over again, because these are the instructions that are going to the different portions of the body. Boop, boop, boop. Okay, it's showing you a cleansing cycle. Now notice how these are on the bottom layer, right? Look, you have the inner part of the brain, then you have the reflection of it, right? This is carrying the instructions from the inside, but then on the outside of that is where it's being passed. It's going right into the actual vertebrae. See that? See, these ones are all connected to this. Bing, 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 bing. That's why this one orb is right here, because each one carries the instruction. Okay? No, it's not a fucking calendar. Okay? It has nothing to do with a calendar. These blocks of 5 is because you have what? You have your frontal, your occipital, your perennial, and your limbotic lobes, and your cerebellum. Okay? So it's the instructions that are being passed. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you have, you see, each 4 of them, 1, 2, 3, 4, runs you into the base part, which is split in 2. Then it's got the 1, 2, 3, 4 on each side of it, the whole way around. Okay? Now that's all based off of these 5. And the 5 are connected to the inner part. You get it? So this is just basically explaining to you the cycle of the energy as it's passing through you. Now, the thing about that is that is determined by how you feel. That's why you have the left side and the right side. Okay? Logic versus emotion. So this is not a fucking calendar. If you notice, right, they base everything that you learn now off of these things. What do you mean, a what type of person? Bro, it's for every fucking body. Everybody has this cycle in them. It's it's for black people only, or fucking no, shut up. Lose that shit. That's fucking ridiculous. There's not a single person that's living right now that doesn't have a heart, a brain, a spinal column. Okay, like can we just your left and right side are one, Talon. That's the whole point of this, is recognizing the fact that it's one and the same. There's not a single person living that doesn't have the circle of Willis. Each one of you has to go internally to hear that voice, right? Please miss me with that. People don't have internal dialect. Yes, they do. They just ignore it. That's their problem. That's why they need to go ground themselves and cleanse themselves. Everybody has an internal dialect. There's nobody running around without a voice inside their head. It's just that you're taught to ignore it and taught that it's a bad thing. So over time, you silence it naturally. Because whatever you don't use in your brain fucking thinks that you don't need and stops utilizing and wasting energy on it. You get me? So, my voice don't tell me the same thing that yours does, right? We have different voices because my voice is my voice. Your voice is your voice. What you hear inside of you is a reflection of you. So it sounds just like you. Right? But the difference is, you know, the things that you have been taught have your voice speaking to you about different things. Whereas the things that I've been taught have the voice speaking to me about different things. Okay? It's not the calendar, Jose. It's not the calendar, Jose. This is a diagram of the body, sir. Okay? This is the diagram of the body. Your feathered serpent, this is the head of your dragon. This is the body of your dragon. And feathers represent muscles. Okay? So the muscle is the action. And where you get your feathers from, let's go to, here, let's go like this. Split view. Give me wait, where's my Google photo? There it is, right there. Let me show you your feathered serpent, your Kukulkan, Quetzalcoatl, or whatever you want to call it. The quest that coats all. That's what y'all call it, right? Quetzalcoatl, right? Quetzalcoatl, right? See, there's things that you don't know about those things because you were given mythology, right? Whereas we have the science, right? Your feathered serpent, this guy right here, yeah, it's your spinal column. Okay, bloop bloop. The goat part, that's your lateral ventricles. Okay, it's your serpent. The quest that coats the all. Because it's the journey through your body. It's the yeah, there's timing involved in this. Okay, there is a timing in here. I just have to dig it out a little bit. Okay, like I haven't gone through this for the calendar yet, but it's not the calendar like they want you to think that it is. Okay, because this has the timing of when these things go through your body. Okay, yeah, some of them make it to YouTube. Some of my lives do. I gotta get more in the habit of posting it over there. Yeah, it's a biological calendar, exactly. No, the oil's not at the base of the brain. Jose, stop fucking spamming your question, bro. It's annoying as shit. I see it the first time, okay? There's a specific timing when these things pass through your body, okay? That's these 13 that you see around here, okay? Which breaks down into the 12, all right? Because it's only on a 12-month cycle, all right? But the thing is that, let's see. All right, let's see if we can find it. Hold on. All right, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and this would be the 21st. All right, so now I know that this one's also connected, but these two are one and the same. These are always one and the same, so this only counts as one by itself, okay? So you have to think about this shit. It's simple, but it's complex, all right? Because look, there's a split right here for the 2, all right? And then you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7, right? Now, that is, so you've got 21 total responses, right? So that's 21 days out of a 13-moon cycle. Because what is the 7, right? But the 7 splits into 2, so that's what, 14, right? But that is being distributed in 1, 2, 3 layers, so that's your 21. So 21 out of 28, right? Because we're talking about the moons here, right? So you have 21-day cycle out of 28 days. So every 21 days you have a fresh energy that's being created. That's what's coming out of the tongue, okay? Notice how the tongue with the 3 comes down to a foot at the bottom of it, because it's the foundation of the energy. Tongue, right? The tongue is what? Frequency. Okay? So it's explaining to you the 21-day cycle out of the 28-day calendar. Now, what you don't realize is that out of the 13 months, there's 1 month where this doesn't take place. Okay? Because technically, the sun goes stagnant and disappears for 3 days, right? So during that time, you can't receive the same energies. That's the new cycle. When the new cycle's starting, your process is complete. So the last month of that's why it's about the 12 months, not the 13 months. Yeah, coal sex, yeah. But it's not just about the women, though. This is also about the men. You see, the men, every 21 days, the men have an energy that passes through them that fuels their sperm. Like, you're fueling it consistently every single month, okay? It takes a total of, I believe they say 63 days for sperm to completely mature, right? And so there's 1 month that's missing, okay? The reason that there's 1 month that's missing is because during the month that's missing would be what you consider to be Easter. You know, when they had the orgies. The reason that they had the orgy during Easter was because they would be retaining their seed through the other 3 months before it, because that would make it so that you're completing the cycle. There's no missing parts. Okay, so the thing is there's one month that's always missing, and it's not that it doesn't exist, it's that that's when you're supposed to be creating new beings. Because during the, all right, you got to think about it like this, right? Why you think that that's why they removed Ophiuchus. Okay, that's why he stands on the serpent, holds the head of the serpent, and stands on the serpent at the same time. That's because it's the transferring of the fucking new life. All right, so during the month of April, because March is the new year, so during the month of April, they would have a breeding party where the women where you know, it would be everybody getting together to procreate. The reason they were procreating in this manner was because by doing so, what you're actually doing is following the astrology of creation, making it so that if you retain yourself for the 3 moons, all right, if you retain yourself in the last 3, what comes together when she goes into her labor and her carrying of it, she includes all the rest of the astrology. It includes the rest of the moons. Well, yeah, that's the one that they removed, Big C, was Ophiuchus. Because Ophiuchus was the symbol to start retaining. That's why he steps on the serpent and holds the serpent's head. Is because that was the time when all of the men would retain their seed. That way, when you have Easter come around where everybody's coming together to create new people for the village, what happens is now the men have retained their seed through April, right? So you have December, January, February, March, right? You have January, February, and March. Okay? And then in April, they would get together and they would create babies. And those babies would have all the energy of the astrology for the first 3 months. And then when the new cycle starts is when she would get pregnant. And that would include the rest of the months that were missing out of the cycle. See, what people don't realize about astrology is that astrology tells you about the elements that are being ingested by your body. So regulation of this is why people aren't as smart now as they used to be. Like this is the literal reason behind that, because now you guys are bumping uglies on a regular basis, right? Now you guys are just out there bumping uglies every fucking month of the year. Which means that, one, your sperm isn't complete because it takes 3 months for your sperm to actually grow to completion, right? So you're now missing elements because now every single month you're bumping uglies, making it so that you're restarting your cycle, which is making it so that you're never producing fully developed sperm. And that fully developed sperm doesn't encase all of the energy that's being given by the different astrology. So that makes it so that, you know, people are becoming weaker and weaker, and the length of people's lives is getting shorter and shorter. You get what I'm saying to you? This is all very, very important stuff. But it's the fact that they've removed all of it and blown everybody's mind full of fucking mythology and shit like that, that makes it so that you can't figure this shit out. This is science, my friend. Where do you think science comes from? Well, for women, it's not the same thing as men. Women have to receive the energy from men. That's why you guys... Well, for women, it's not the same thing as men. Women have to receive the energy from men. That's why you guys can't fast like we can. Because when you guys fast, you can't fast for more than 2 to 3 days at a time. Whereas men, we can fast for months on end. The reason that we can fast on months on end, whereas you can only fast once a month. Like women can only fast when, during the 21st week. I mean, the 21st day of the month. Because that's when they're recycling the energies internally. So they can fast through the 3 days that they go through ovulation. because that's when there's fuel that's being given for the creation of the new, like to fertilize the egg, like to make the egg useful. Okay, so you guys can only fast for like 3 days, and that's only during your menstrual cycle. I mean, yeah, the menstrual cycle. It's during the ovulation point of your menstrual cycle that you guys can fast. Whereas men, because we have energy that's pouring into our sperm every single day, we have the ability to run off of that energy alone. And that's why we can fast for months and it won't kill us, whereas you guys can only fast for a few days before it throws your system completely out of whack. Well, how would you work out your shit? You would do it by your astrology. Your astrology tells you. That's why men have to learn astrology. See, women have it easy because their shit happens every month as soon as the fucking new moon starts coming. If their internal clock, if they've cleansed their system to the point to where they're regulated at the same time that the moon is coming and going, getting their circadian rhythm in line, it makes it so that they regulate their system. The same time that you have a new moon is the same time that she's going to have the ability to produce new babies. That's how their cycle, when their cycle is synced up properly, it goes whenever the moon changes. Okay, now for men, you go off the astrology of the time that you were born. Yeah, the ovulation cycle. Exactly. How does it benefit men if we don't fornicate? Okay, here, let me show you like this, right? All right, you got to think about it like this. See, our sperm is the energy from the mind that carries all of the genetic charge through the spine, okay? So what happens is when you don't use that, it returns, right? First it goes up, it goes into the heart distributes it to the organs, okay? And then after it goes through that, it also distributes it back up to the mind. So that's where your energy has to return to. So every time that you have a baby, what happens is you literally just deplete yourself. You're literally dumping your energy out, shorting your time span. So your cycle, see, for men, we give energy to sperm every single day. So that energy is able to be cycled properly. But for that, you have to have your emotions in check. That's why the cerebellum is over here ready to crunch shit up. Okay, because that'll eat your energy up that's supposed to go back into there, because now you're expending your energy based off of your emotions. Emotions will drain you. Why do you think if you get upset with somebody, you get tired afterwards? Emotional damage. You ever heard that joke? Okay, that's a real thing. Okay, so when your emotions, because your emotions require you to produce, like when you get upset about something, your emotions produce adrenaline. Adrenaline is not something that gives back to you. That actually makes your heart beat faster, which actually depletes your energy even faster, which actually fucking throws your body out of whack. Okay, so men, that's why men are taught to control their emotions so much. We have to. You have to be fearless. You have to be fucking logical. You have to be able to use discernment. You have to be able to forgive people. That's the hard thing that men go through. Okay, it's hard for men to let shit slide. We are very prideful creatures because everything is super fucking shit for us. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, exactly. Upright, fearless, and exactly. Okay, so we have to subdue our emotions because we don't have proper regulation like women do. Women just have that cycle once a month. So if you notice during the time that women are going through that cycle, their emotions go fucking all over the place. Well, we're dealing with that every single day. Every single day we have an abundance of fucking energy that's flowing through us. Of course your pastor doesn't want you to learn this, but you know, that's because they would find out that this is the foundation of everything that they talk about. This is where all of your information about the Christ energy and all that shit comes from in the first place. Let thine eye be single, so thy body be... all that bullshit. All that shit comes from these works. Yeah, a lot of them don't know it. A lot of them will tell you that these are sun worshippers and pagans and motherfucking all this other shit, but really what they're actually telling you is about the people that found this. That's their interpretations of it, which has no knowledge. It has no wisdom in it. Where can you find more information on this? You can get my collection that I'm putting together. All right, I have a whole thing that I put together that'll help you break these things down and follow along with it. All right, look. Bloop, bloop. Boop. See this? These are your charts. And most of it's pictures because you want to start to understand the symbols. You don't want to lean necessarily on the words so much. Okay? You want to understand the symbols, not the words. The words are there to mask the symbols. Okay? Now, I think currently it's like $100 to get access to this. But I want to change that down to like $50 just because, I want, but as you can see, it takes a little bit of work to put these things together, right? Like we've been on here for like an hour and a half. It took me an hour just to put the page together. I mean, all you gotta do is click the link tree in my bio and, it'll take you to the Kingdom Academy. This is Kingdom Academy. Okay, this is where we teach you how to return your mind to the king, right? You have to, because it's imperative. It's all about your life cycles and shit. You get me? Like this is based off of your astrology and makes it, see your 13 moon cycle right here, right? The actual way that the astrology is supposed to be lined up. Right, so that you can tell, because they've switched the astrology by removing Ophiuchus. Ophiuchus is this one that's here in the center. Okay, that's your 13th sign, which is Ophiuchus. All right, so there's 13 total. No, Empress, it's not that you guys don't have to do anything. You guys have it. Even your guys' shit is more intensified than ours is. Like, you guys have a harder time regulating that because you have one large burst of energy that comes to you a month, right? So every month when you're going through your ovulation cycle, don't you get a little stir crazy? You get a little agitated very easily and shit. Like you guys have a harder time controlling it because we have a little burst of energy every single day that we deal with, right? So it kind of spaces it out for us, so it makes it easier for us to control our emotions. Whereas when you guys go through your ovulation cycle, you get one large burst to activate the egg. You get me? So you have to fix the things that you eat. You have to fix your actions. You have to fix your heart. You have to fix the way that you think, and you have to change your internal dialect. You have to, like, we go through these control mechanisms on a daily basis. You get me? Whereas you guys go through it once a month. The astrology is what tells you, because you're born at the time that you're born under the astrological sign tells you when your cycle is. That's for the men. See, the women don't have to worry about chasing their astrology. Hey, what up, Brian? Right? The women don't have to chase their astrology. Theirs is very simple. It's always based off the lunar cycle. That's when their system goes through its fucking changes, is the lunar cycle. So they don't have to chase their astrology to figure this out. They just have to learn. All they really need to do is not eat and fucking meditate during the time that they're going through their menstrual cycle. That's it. The 3 days that, see, they can go to a gynecologist right now and tell them that they want to get pregnant, so they want to clock their, the ovulation period. The ovulation period is only 3 days out of the month. So they can go to a hospital right now and tell them that they're trying to get pregnant and they need to clock their ovulation cycle, and they'll give them the specific days a month that their ovulation cycle is. During those 3 days, it's very imperative that they're grounding themselves, that they're sun gazing, and that they're regulating their food and the way that they think. Like, they have to correct their mind when their mind goes through all that crazy shit, because they get a nice burst of energy once a month. You get me? Oh, go ahead, Knight Rider. Here's the same cross that you have right here. See that cross that's in your fucking that's in your little name plate right there, my little fucking lost Christian friend? This is the same cross right here, which is the tongue, the scale of the tongue, right? Wherewithal shall man be led by the word to be cleansed? The word, the dog, the tongue, okay? Death and life are weighed at the scale of the tongue. The dog is, oh, you don't see what I'm saying? Here, let me help you out, sir. Let me help you out, good sir. Let me show you where your Bible comes from. See, the dog represents the tongue. So let me give you a scripture. Let me give you some scriptures. Wherewithal shall man be led by the word to be cleansed? The dog is the one that leads you. Death and life are weighed at the scale of the tongue, the dog, the double-edged sword. Deliver my soul, my darling, from the power of the dog and the double-edged sword, the tongue. You see all the references in your Bible? See how all of those reference you back to the dog that sits at the scales of life and death, the tongue. So the tongue that sits at the scales of, okay. So that would mean that when we're looking at things like this, where is it? Where did I put it? Right here. See? See? Death and life weighed at the tongue. See how he's at the scales of life and death? Where it's your heart versus your thoughts versus your actions versus your words versus the things that you consume that consume you. The tongue at the scales of life and death. Here we go with the stupid questions, bro. What the fuck does that have to do with a higher power? I know what the higher power is. It's the chamber of your mind. Okay, that's where the Father's seat is. No, I'm not going to block him. He's the one that needs this the most, because he's going to be the rudest and the most condescending and the most, he's going to be possessed by so many demons and so many devils and pagans and all this other shit that they gave him in there that he's not even going to be able to recognize where his scriptures came from in the first place. Okay? This is why the birds of the heavens and the beasts of the field are there for your knowledge, right? Decline, don't fucking invite me to nothing. Okay, so see how the word is leading the man, right? Wherewithal shall man be led by the word to be cleansed? The double-edged sword, the tongue. Yeah, the way and the light, exactly. That would be Ra. That's the Ra, okay? Because the way and the light. Let me help you see this more clearly. Split the view again and bring up the Google Photos again, and then we're going to go to the collections, and we're going to go to the albums, and then we're going to go to this, and then we're going to come down here because you want to be the way and the light, right? You see the way of the light? Your Ra, your energy. It's what you see. Would you like to give me some more scriptures? You feel free to give me more scriptures, right? Because this is where you get the knowledge, the owl that's on the edge, the knowledge, right? Yeah, the alpha and the omega, right? Because that's your omega symbol right there. Okay, that's your omega symbol. That's the serpent carrying the energy. That's your omega. That goes to your alpha. What's your alpha? Where is it? Where's that alpha omega? Okay. See the alpha? See the A for the alpha? See how the omega is the serpent carrying the energy? So what's the alpha? The alpha is... Dun, dun, dun. Where is that golden calf? Gotta find the calf. Oh. The alpha. See the letter A right here? Alpha, the omega. The reproduction of the energy. And if you don't believe me, all we have to do... Alpha is A, which comes from... Where is it? Where's the actual one at? Hold on. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Is he still in here? Or did he leave? I need to know that if he's still in here. Are you still in here, buddy? I'm just trying to help you understand some things, because my people will perish for lack of knowledge, for they reject knowledge. I'm trying to give you the knowledge right now, right? Because you've been taught good and evil, but you haven't been taught this yet, right? And that's what got you kicked out of the garden. That's why your mind isn't childlike anymore, right? Because you were corrupted by the ideas of good and evil. Where is it? Where is it? Oh, here we go. Oh, good. I'm glad you're still here. Bro, you're in your afterlife. What are you talking about? So, what's the alpha? The ox. See that? The aleph, the alpha, the ox. You see it, right? That's why you have a Bible that you're learning from. How you in the afterlife? Didn't they tell you were an angel when you were a baby? Didn't they tell you that, oh ye, that man is a worm? You don't know that you're in your afterlife? Didn't you have a life in your father's nutsack before you went to the life in your mother, before you went into the life that you were fucking reborn into? Weren't you reborn already? All right. Didn't you go from one form, when you were cast out of the heavens? Because the heavens are your head. That's why you have hemispheres in your head that are filled with gray matter, which is clouds, where there's a man that sits on it, which is your circle of Willis, and that's above your pyramid where your Nile River is, because the Nile River splits into the 7, which is your 7 arteries that distribute the blood throughout your brain, and the Nile River is at the base of your cerebellum. All right, because look, let's go back to that original image we were at earlier. Look, let me show you something. See, the problem is you don't know that you're in your afterlife, so you're out here making hell out of heaven. That's very counterproductive. You're very disrespectful to the Creator. Okay? See, this is your pyramid. Notice how it's called your pyramid. In the Bible, you read about the pyramids and the olive tree. This is your olive tree. Or your aleph tree, which is the tree that goes down to your aleph, right? The aleph is the root of it, which is your alpha. So, at the bottom of your pyramid, right, what do you see here? Your central canal. Why can't I circle this shit? What the fuck is going on here? Oh shit, what did we just do? Get rid of that. See how you have a canal? Now, mind you, this is current day medical diagrams, okay? This is current day medical diagrams. Now, notice how down here is where your X is, or your cross that's in motion, because the X is simply the cross that's moving. It's in motion. It's being carried. The cross that you bear every day. Yeah, your cerebral spinal fluid, exactly. Yod, Hey, Vav, Hey. The head, your head, the valley, and the head. Because you have two heads, right? You have to realize Hebrew didn't exist. It's not a real language. I hate to fucking break it to you, but Hebrew didn't exist. They made that shit up. It was Yiddish. The Yiddish people made up Hebrew. That's why it's called Hebrew, right? Hebrew. What is Hebrew? The spells that are put on pictures, which are your scriptures. Yeah, the deaf Phoenicians, right? You get what I'm saying? Like, it's all right in your face. It's just not in your face because you've got the language of Babel fucking it up. It's a fake language. They turned the Babel on. Okay? Babylon isn't a real place. They just keep naming stuff after it to confuse the fuck out of you. Okay? That's why you had the story of a Jewish Messiah named Jesus who brought the Gentiles, your genitals, right? The G is us, that brought the Gentiles to the is real light. Right? The 12 tribes of the Israelite. What are the 12 tribes? What are tribes? Ribs. It's ribs. The cross that you bear and the ribs. You know, where man creates woman from the rib. Right? Because you have ribonucleic acid, which is your DNA, which consists of the 144 of both the male and the female. right? See, it's all right there. They're teaching you about the Genesis, the gene, S equals is, and Esses, the I is, right? The I is I am, but the feminine version of it, because on to Genesis is the development of man. Men's cross. I don't astral project, sir. I travel. No, the fuck you're talking about? Don't nothing come out of my ass except for waste products. You better watch what you say. I don't know who you talking to like that. Oh, you better watch what they fucking teach you, right? That's why the first book of the Bible is what? Is my Christian friend still in here? My new friend, are you still in here? There you go, Knight Rider. Hey, Knight Rider. Don't they give you, isn't the first part of the Bible the two Ra? You know why it's the Bible? Because this is your alpha, right? It's inverted here, whereas in your reproductive organs, it goes this way. So it's this way versus this way. Right? Because in the reproductive organs, actually, technically, it's still straight up and down. But the same shape that your reproductive organs produce is the same shape that you have in your brain. Yeah, it's bullshit. Straight up bullshit. You get me? So this is what your Bible's supposed to teach you about. No illuminate one. No, it's not as above, so below. It's as above, of below. It's one and the same. I'm not shaking your faith, sir. This should be solidifying it for you, literally. Because what you don't believe about this version right here is the same thing that happens in all of the old Jesus pictures. You see, you don't know where this stuff comes from. You know, that's why you're a little bit lost and think that what I'm teaching you is going against your shit. But that shit came from here. You understand? That came from here. You see? See the men on the cross? See the men on the cross? See where you get your symbolism for your religion from? The whole thing that you practice is a reflection. But this is your heart on the cross. It's your heart that you have to cross every day. It's your heart that you bear. It's your heart that is the eye of the body. Let thine eye be single, right? It's your heart. Your treasure is where your heart will be also, your chest, okay? Your one accord, your spinal cord. This guy is the physical representation. This is the spiritual representation. Okay? It's the same thing, bro. This is where you find out about the all. The all is what you consider to be the creator, right? You talk about the creator being able to see all, hear all, observe all things, and then you get mad about the all-seeing eye. That's the same exact thing. You can't find God in a book because it's internal. What you're taking from that book is somebody else's interpretation of the things that you were supposed to learn for yourself. And the problem with that is that the people that adjusted it were very destructive in their ways, and so they gave you destruction, right? The word will be translated through one people to a next through unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches that were gotten by deceit. Right? They were deceitful in their nature. They came to learn this only to corrupt it because it reflected what was in them internally, and then they gave you a book that gave you their interpretation of it, which removes the knowledge and the wisdom, right? Only through the wisdom can you get to the Father's seat. Only through her. Why is it only through her? Because feminine has to deal with the transference of the energy, which is the growth of the body itself, which is the thing that regulates the energies that flow through you. You can't let thine eye be single so thy body is full of light if your body is full of darkness. Your body is full of darkness because you've learned the good and evil. You've learned the destruction. And that's all that you've been able to learn from that book. Because when you get down to it, your body gets full of darkness because when you have those destructive thoughts and those negative images like demons and devils and all of those type of things, what you do is literally fill your body with darkness because you're thinking of evil things all the time, creating what is called holy water. It's the water that's internal that becomes holy from these ideas. You see how the body gets full of darkness? See, your body being full of light has to have positivity and positivity only. Wisdom, love, peace, truth, eternity, right? As soon as you start thinking people are foolish and want to rebuke them, what you're actually doing is having evil thoughts, which is creating holes within the water within your body, and those evil thoughts that you try to reinforce with angels become solidified negativity within you that's even harder for you to get rid of, which means that your body is full of darkness. See, your body would be full of light if you only learned the positive things. If you learned to love everything through the wisdom of the Creator, you would be appreciative of your existence, and you would be living in truth, which will give you peace, which brings you to an eternal flow of energy. The problem is that by learning the things in the Bible the way that they teach them to you, which teaches you good and evil, makes it so that you reinforce the negativity that's within you. The problem with that is that flows through your cerebral spinal fluid. Okay, now this is where your body becomes full of darkness because all of your thoughts are stored within your water, the water that the cerebral spinal fluid carries. Right now, that's where all of your memories and your words affect the water that's within internal. That's why when you're not supposed to have negative thoughts about people, you're supposed to correct yourself instead of having negative thoughts. Because once you've gone through this becomes a cycle that embeds itself in your DNA, which makes it so that even your children will suffer from that. My people will perish for lack of knowledge, for they reject knowledge, and I shall reject thy seat in the heavens and thy children. They have no seat in the heavens. Your neuromelanin has been fucking cut off because you don't have the proper flow of energy to actually activate your endocrine system, which is the thing that cleanses your body physically and emotionally. Because once your endocrine system is active on a regular basis, you're now producing dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin, ATP, autophagy, and all the things that actually restore your system. So the fact that they have you believing that people are pagans for receiving sunlight through their eyes, which is the only way to put raw energy into your endocrine system, makes it so that your body is no longer cleansing itself. That's why you're supposed to follow the story of Moses. See, Moses teaches you how to cleanse yourself. That's why Moses had the horns. He had the horns of Ammon's horn because he was the sheep herder. Right? The sheep herder. And he carried the staff that parts the Red Seas, which is your blood. And he had to take his shoes off in the holy place that he went to. Right? You see him up there with his shoes off in the holy place receiving the wisdom, which that holy place above the mountain is your cerebellum, the thing that regulates your energy. And so he had to calm himself and ground himself in front of the burning bush in order for the burning bush to be able to teach him, because what he was actually learning about was the cleansing process called osmosis. Osmosis is where you take the parts of the water that are collected together and clumped together and you separate that. Okay, that's why he was given the breath, the word on the tablets. The tablets are your lungs. The two serpents that he had to speak to are your ventricles, and that is how you learn about, protecting yourself from doing your reproduction too much. Right? You got to shut all this shit down in order for the energy to return to the gland from the land from which it came from. Because you're cleansed by the blood and the water. Right? That's what it tells you in the Bible. But because they removed all the symbolism for you to actually know what these things meant, you're now lost in a translation of a war-torn guy that was going out doing things that could never exist. So by removing these things and only leaving you with the stories instead of the symbols and understanding it, because these symbols are all based off of astrology. The symbols that are based off of astrology are what? Doesn't it tell you in your Bible that the stars are there for your signs and seasons? So where have I strayed from the wisdom that was given to you to sit in the Father's seat so that you might be able to judge fairly? You have no... Bro, your soul is your sun. S-O-L. The sun is your soul. It's the light, the energy. Okay, look, let me show you something, right? You say the Father, right? Amun. Amun is the hippocampus, the Amun's horn, right? Now you say Amen every single time that you do your prayers and stuff, but you don't even know what you're saying, because Amun is the part of the body, the four Amen, right? For your fucking Amen, for your blessing, right? The four Amen is the part of the body that all of your ventricles travel through, your arteries and your veins. And the Amen, the four Amen, goes from your mind down your spinal column to your vertical foramen, to your neural foramen, which is your nerve root, and goes down to the greater and lesser sciatic foramen. Okay? Well, the reason that it's Amun Ra is because Ra is the light that you're supposed to have traveling. That's Ra. That's why in the beginning of your Bible, you learn from the two Ra, the Torah, where they teach you about your frequency and vibration. That's why you pray over your food, because you're putting good energy into your food, right? That's why you wear one cloth, which is linen, right? Because linen has a 4,400 hertz. Okay, this is all frequency. It's all cleansing of energy. 5,000 hertz? Yeah, you're right. Okay, I knew that number was off. Sorry, it's like, digging through a whole library to tell you about this stuff. But you get what I'm saying? That's why you're supposed to wear one cloth. That's why you're supposed to pray into your food, because your frequency of love and appreciation going into the food changes the structure of it on a molecular level. So you pray into your food, you wear one cloth, which raises your frequency. You learn how to love one another, which also raises your frequency. You're supposed to learn the knowledge and the wisdom, which also raises your frequency, because now you're creating conductive energy within your body, making it so that your soul, or the Son of God, right, the Son of the Creator, right, is ignited. Okay? This is what the Bible's all about. That's why you learned of a Bible, because the ox is both masculine and feminine. See, your cross is not what you think it is. See, your cross has an origin. You see, you got it from the Romans that wanted to go against it. Okay? But this is just the same thing that I was telling you about. This is your vertebral for Amen, the man's head in the middle, and why it's the two sides that are coming together by the heart is because you have the instructions from the mind that are passing through it. This is the representation of your nerve stem, which is the Ankh. Okay? That's your cross. That's why you have old crosses that have these symbols on it. There's no such thing as an evil eye. What are you talking about enchantments? I'm not giving you an enchantment. I just gave you scripture upon scripture upon scripture, right? Like literally, like for the last 45 minutes, I've done nothing but speak to you in scriptures. Oh, okay. I'm just saying, think about that for for my Christian friend that's in here trying to say that you don't understand the Father. Well, who do you think Ra is? I mean, Amun is the father of Osiris, Isis, right? And he's just your lateral ventricles. You know, the thing that creates cognition in your body. Right? I mean, it's not like I know they want to tell you other things, but when you actually look at it, it's just biology. No, woman wasn't seen as a god. Neither man nor woman is seen as a creator. Neither one. You cannot reduce the creator to something masculine or feminine, because it both produces and fucking creates and watches and grows. That's the process of both put together. So you cannot see, that's just digging into people's pride and their egos. You guys need that's feeding people's egotistical fucking need to feel like they're more special than somebody else. That's it. That's why they've got all these fucked up people trying to teach you about spiritualism that have no idea what they're talking about, giving you this duality bullshit and worship one, not the other, and one's more important than the other. How would we survive if there was just one? Think about that for a minute. It's just something that was created in order to make it so that, there was division. Okay? No, Mike, when they're saying that woman comes out of the rib of man, they're talking about the ribonucleic acid. Hold on. Where is it? Boop. It's your DNA strand. Where'd this fucking music just come from? What is this shit? Do you guys hear that? Does anybody else hear that music playing? Okay, good. I thought I was going crazy for a second. I gotta get it. Hold on. Why is this fucking playing? It says that there's no music playing. I need to get rid of this shit. That's gonna make it so when I repost this, they're gonna come after my stuff. Remove background noise? No. What the fuck? Maybe it's under effects? Is it this? No. Duh. There is no filter on. I don't like this. Alright, I'm closing it down. I gotta open it back up. Oh, wait. That shit better not. Motherfucker. How do I get rid of that? Anybody know? I didn't even know you could play live in music. Where's this shit coming from? Oh well, fuck this. It's not Pandora. This is something. Nah, it can't be somebody.